Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Today I would like to talk about Unit 4, which discuss one of the most essential parts of linguistics, phonetics and phonology, the study of sounds and phonemes. Language is not only about grammar or meaning, it also starts from sound. The way we produce, hear and organize sounds forms the very foundational of every spoken language on earth. This is why understanding phonetics and phonology is a key step to understanding how language truly works. First, let's begin with phonetics. Phonetics is the branch of linguistics that studies the sound of human speech, how we make them, how they travel through the air, and how we hear them. It focuses on the physical aspect of sounds. There are three main branches of phonetics. 1. Articulatory phonetics, which explains how speech sounds are produced by our vocal organs, such as the lips, the tongue, the teeth, and the vocal cords. For example, when you say P, your lips come together and then release air, that is articulation. 2. Acoustic phonetics, which studies the physical properties of sound waves, including pitch, loudness, and duration. It tests speech as a vibration that can be measured scientifically. 3. Auditory phonetics, which explore how our ears and brains perceive sound. It looks at the listener side of communication, how we recognize and interpret sound when we hear them. Now, in studying phonetics, we divide the basic types of sounds into two main categories. The first, consonant, which are produced when the air is blocked or restricted somewhere in the vocal tract, for example, P, T, or K. Vowels, which are made when the air flows freely without any major obstruction, such as I, E, or U. Each consonant can be described by three features. 1. Place of articulation, where the airflow is obstructed. For example, bilabial, with two lips like P. Alveolar, with the tongue touch the ridge behind the teeth like T. Or velar, with the back of the tongue touch the soft plate like K. 2. Manner of articulation, how the air passes, such as plosive, complete stop the release like B. Fricative, a narrow passage rating friction like F. Or nasal, air passing through the nose like M. The 3 is voicing, whether the vocal cords obstruct or not. For example, B is voiced while P is voiceless. Vowels, on the other hand, are described by tongue position and lip shape. We classify vowels as front, central, or back, depending on where the tongue is placed, as high, mid, or low, depending on how high the tongue is raised. For example, E in C is a high front vowel, while A in car is low back vowel. The great linguist Daniel Jones introduced the concept of cardinal vowels, a reference system of 8 standard vowel sounds that map the range of human vowel articulation. In English, we also have diphthongs, which are vowel gliders, sounds that move from one vowel position to another, like A in time or AU in go. And next, the part of phonetics. The main tasks of the phonetics are to describe, classify, and analyze the sound of human language. Phonetics use special symbols to represent sound accurately. This is known as the International Phonetic Alphabet, or the APA. Unlike ordinary spelling, the APA gives one unique symbol to each distinct sound. For instance, the English word dog has the sound this, which looks like different from its spelling. Through phonetic study, we can compare sound across languages, describe accents, and even improve pronunciation. Phonetics is also very important in language teaching, speech therapy, in linguistic research, because it helps us understanding how speech sound function in real communication. It also helps identify how sound influences each other. For example, in English, the T sound in top is pronounced with a small brush of air, th, but not in stop. The small differences are all part of phonetics detail, the physical side of speaking. Phonology. Now let's move to phonology, the next level of phonetics. If phonetics studied how sounds are produced physically, phonology studies how sound function in a specific language. It is not about how we pronounce sounds, but rather how they create meaning when combined. The central concept in phonology is the phoneme, the smallest sound unit that can change meaning. For example, in English, P and B are two different phonemes because they distinguish words like pet and bed. Changes one phoneme can produce a completely new word. A minimal pair is a pair of words that differ by only one phoneme, such as sheep or sheep, fun and fan, or pen or pan. By studying minimal pair, we can identify such sounds are meaningful differences in a particular language. Phonology also introduces the idea of aloofness, like foundation of the phoneme that do not change meaning. For instance, the sound P is aspirated PH and pin, but an aspirated P in spin. Even though they sound slightly different, English speakers treat both as the same phoneme, P. In writing, phonemes are shown between slashes, while phonemes' actual sounds are shown between brackets. So P is a phoneme, while PH with bracket or P with brackets are phonemes. Physically realization of the phoneme. Phonology helps us understanding the sound system and rules of a language, how sound patterns together, how they change in context, and how listeners mentally organize them. For example, in English, we can start words with PL as in play, but not with LP. This shows that phonology is about patterns and rules, not just sound.